Hey everybody! Now we got that out the way. This video is going to be about pretty much that your daughters need you. And the reason why I can truly say that is because sometimes parents get so caught up in just what they feel they want, and you never really take into consideration of what your children need. So it can get real bad to where you end up just not being there for them. And a lot of times girls sometimes need more attention than the boy counterparts, to where if you don't give them that affection, or you don't give them the compliments, oh, you so beautiful, you are so valuable, you are precious. When it comes to just making sure that you have a successful young lady, a daughter, love her. A lot of times women can be either a daddy's girl, they can be a mama's girl, but a mother's love is always the most love that majority kids need, because mama, we had the child to where it's just in our nature to nurture, and the kids in their nature to want to be nurtured, to where we want advice as a woman from our mom first. And a lot of times by women not getting the proper attention or love that they should have got, it can almost turn into where it's a generational curse, to where now, because they don't know how to teach their daughter how to be a woman, they can't give their daughter the right teachings of how to be a woman, whether it's how to cook, or whether it's how to wash her clothes, or whether it's how she should be dressing, or whether it's how she should be presenting herself as a lady. You'd be surprised, as simple as all that sound, especially to people that came up in the family to where they just had an excellent mother, to where the mother was just exemplary of what a woman should be. For those that had that, y'all would never understand women or girls that never had that, so they have to grow up kind of teaching themselves, or they have to grow up getting mentorships from other women that's not family. So I've seen a lot to where a lot of women can tend to put a man in front of their kids, not even just their daughter. They can tend to, especially if they just kind of got out of relationship with the kid's father, and maybe now because you a single parent, you have a hard time finding a guy, so you'll pretty much kind of put up with certain things that you probably shouldn't put up with, just so you don't be lonely. And it could turn into where now you putting this guy in front of your kids or your daughter. So now all the attention that she should be getting to learn how to be this exemplary lady, she can't get it, because now this new guy that's in the picture is taking all her time and sometimes money. So, and then it could be to the point to where she get with the wrong person, everything he say, like let's just say you got a teenage daughter, and maybe she's like 16 or 17, and he pretty much want the woman all to himself. So he'll try something like, she this and that. Every time you turn around, she's always in trouble, or this and that. She need to go. And you'd be surprised how many women that's hard up for a guy, well, you got to get out. Really? So you're going to put your daughter out just so you can keep this no good forsaken guy? Because any real man is not going to try to make you choose over your child and to be with him. If he's trying to do that, then you should be single anyway. So like I said, a lot of times, a lot of young girls, they need attention. And it is really great if they can get the attention from daddy, because a lot of times there's nothing like a father's love. So that can play a role in, girls just feeling like they're not protected, or feeling like they don't know what to look for in guys, because they never had a real good guy figure to show them what to look for in a guy. That's another thing too. And this is such an epidemic to where you have a lot of kids growing up in single parent households to where it hurts boys more than it hurts the girls. But the way the girl acted out is that she ended up choosing no good guys because she never had that guy example to go off of what she should look for in a man. Or she didn't have that father guy in her life to protect her from these no good men. Or she just never had a father to say, you're so beautiful. You know, you'd be surprised how if a father tell his daughter how beautiful she is, how much that just make her day. Like, dang, if my daddy think I'm beautiful, like, I'm really beautiful. Not, well, oh, well, you don't deserve, you selfish. If you think a man gonna be with you and only you, that's selfish. You'd be surprised how some men think like that, and they'll put that thinking on their kids to where they start raising sons that's players, or they start raising daughters with low self-esteem. Like, you kill your daughter's dream and self-esteem before she's even old enough to grow up and have one. So you truly got to be careful of the words that you give your daughters. You got to just be careful of the environment you give your daughters. You got to be, it's a lot. There's no simple parenting book on how to raise successful kids. But I feel like the common sense thing is love. Like, I really don't understand why people find it so hard to love, especially love your children. Like, that should be the most fraternal thing to do, because that's you. That is you. Whether you're the father, whether you're the mother, that is a DNA piece of you, that it should be just that easy to throw a compliment. It should be that easy, like, come here, give me a hug, I love you so much. Like, that should be easy, but it's not. And I understand why it's not. Because we have so many broken people out here that if they wasn't given that, then how can I be this that I never was? But then in some examples, you have some people that got out of that. They escaped out of that to where they are doing differently, and they're breaking the chains. They breaking the generational curse to where they're not going to no longer have it to where what mom did to me, I'm doing this to my daughter. Because I'm going to raise a girl that has high self-esteem. I'm going to raise my daughter to where she ain't going to deal with this no good dude. I'm going to let her know that you are worth something. You don't need to put up with something that you don't have to, because you don't have to. You are a beautiful, lovely, joyous, beautiful personality young person. So you don't have to deal with that. So once you really embed that from a kid until they get old enough, you'd be surprised how much of a successful young girl that you can end up having instead of being selfish. These kids at the end of the day didn't ask to be here. So a lot of times, you know, parents, not even just moms, I'm not even gonna put this all on mothers, because, you know, it goes on both genres to where the father can be at fault for being a terrible father, the mother can be at fault for being a terrible mother, and it's different things that can place you in those categories of why you was a terrible parent. Maybe you neglected your kid to where you just wasn't there, or maybe you was just a very verbally abusive parent, or maybe you was just a pedophile parent to where you somebody that touched your own kids. So many things that can just be traumatic that goes on today. Like, I have a friend and they're a social worker, and some of the stories they tell me about what they see on the job, just like how people just drop their kids off to the social service because they don't want their kids no more. Like, I truly don't understand how you cannot care about a child, and especially something that you created. So at the end of the day, we really have to get to a point to where we're loving. If you don't love nobody else, love your child, man. Love your child. Spend quality time with your child, especially your daughters, man. Spend time with, like, I mean, really just put the time in the way you taking her to get some ice cream. It ain't got to be ice cream, but take her out or somewhere for something to eat, or, you know, take her to the movies, or take her to get her nails done, or talk to her about how her day been, or ask her what she going to do in school, what she want to do when she get older. All that stuff means so much. But parents be so much in, well, I'm about to go to the club. And, you know, can you watch little Nay Nay because I don't have time, I need to go. Are you serious? Sit your tail home with your daughter or your child. Oh, well, you know, I need to go be with Ray because, you know, I ain't really got time to be with my kids because I got to go and spend time with my boo. Are you serious? Yo, your kid right there, man. Yo, your kid right there. Your kid should become first. Now, Grant, there's a balance, especially if you married. When you marry and you in a relationship, you know, there is a balance, but you don't never have it to where you just throwing your kids all the way to the side as if they just don't matter. You know, you got to give your husband a certain, but if you bringing everybody together in a unit to where the husband or the stepdaddy or the real father, you have to incorporate that together to where it's a whole family thing. It should never be to where if I'm spending time with my husband or my boyfriend, I can't spend time with my kid. You should be able to spend time with all of them together. That's how that's supposed to work. So if you can't incorporate that together, then that's a problem. And it's going to be a problem to where either you're going to neglect your child, now you're going to have a child growing up with trauma in their life or feeling like they're not worthy because you put this dude or you put this woman in front of them, or vice versa. You lose your relationship because you put your kid in front of them. So there's a balance of where you bring it all together. So I really know that I'm going to have to make a part 2 because I'm just kind of just giving this off the top of my head. And y'all can guess it. Yes, it comes from a special place because I was one of them people that, yeah, I can relate. So that's why I made this video. So at the end of the day, you guys have a lovely day. And I will check in with y'all soon. So deuces, my lovely people. Deuces.